waiting for a little while, kind of thinking when to do it. You know, she's always loved Christmas time, and we were coming down for some friends down here to the Christmas parade, and brought it with me. Two of my best buddies with me and their families. After the parade, we just went for a walk where the Christmas lights were near the Cavalier, and picked a nice spot there on the walkway. And to be honest, I don't even remember what I said. She jokes that she doesn't even know if I even asked the question, but she knew what was happening. Basically threw her gloves off and, you know, asked her to marry me.
Well, I did not see it coming. I knew he had the ring, but I didn't think it was going to happen that night. There was a parade at the ocean front, and we were here with all our closest friends. It ended kind of late, and they're like, oh, let's go out to eat. And then they were eating, and they have little kids. And usually they want to go home and, you know, go to bed. And then they're like, oh, let's go look at the lights. I'm like, Alexi, don't they want to go home? And he's like, oh, I think they're fine. I was like, okay. So we go to the lights. I still didn't think anything of it. And then we all walk into that 41st Street, and the lights are not on because it's too late at night. And he still sees the arches, and he's like, no, let's go. And he's like really walking really fast. I'm like, it's fine. So we get onto the first arch, and he just like turns around and starts talking a lot of things. I don't even think he said, will you marry me? He just like said how it's been great 5 years and all that. And then he like pulls my glove off because it was cold. I had gloves on. I'm like, oh, this is happening. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it coming. It was very exciting because they were all there. They knew, that's why they weren't putting babies to bed. And they were filming it, and then we went to the Cavalier and had drinks around the fire pit outside. So it was fun. It was really nice. I was surprised for sure.
Yeah, I think she got a yes out. Whether I asked the question or not, she got the yes out. But yeah, I mean, we've been so happy for so many years. You know, the time was right. We're just, you know, we're excited to make the next step. Well, we were working in the same building, and had talked very little. And then, you know, I was making a trip to Russia for the World Cup. I talked a little bit more, and then she knew that I had a snack drawer in my desk. And I'm not exactly known for sharing food, but she had asked if she could have some of my cookies. And then after the cookies, she had texted me saying thank you, and then asked for to go out for a drink the following week, and yeah, it started from that.
We used to work together. So we met when I started working there in 2017, but we didn't really even talk to each other. We might have said hi to each other because we're on different floors, different offices. And I think the first time we ever kind of had somewhat a conversation, he was going to Russia for the World Cup in 2018. He came up to my cubicle and he was like, what's the advice? Like, what would you tell me? I don't remember what I said. I said like, don't do anything stupid or something like that. But that was it. And then after that, we kind of started chatting here and there, but we didn't really start dating until 2019, which is November 2019. Yeah, he always had Girl Scout cookies in his office. I don't know how I knew that, but sometimes when I was stressed out, I would call him or email him and be like, hey, can I have a cookie? So like, that's kind of how sometimes we would end up chatting because I would ask for a cookie. So it's like a running joke now. If you, yeah, I don't know, we started talking kind of more, I think, at the end of 2019, and one Friday afternoon, I was like thinking it'd be really nice to go get a drink at Hot Tuna. And I'm like, who can I go with? And I thought of Alexi, and I was like, hey, do you want to go get a drink? And I was like, do you even drink? I don't know, I didn't know. I'm like, he goes to church and all that, and maybe he doesn't drink. But he was like, do I drink? So we went and grabbed a drink. We don't call it a date, we just had a drink. And then from then on, we just, did it a few more times and all that. You know the ones with coconut?
Samoas?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
After we had a couple some more informal dates, but first official date, we went for dinner. We're at Havana's, and I knew she had little Victoria, and some friends were watching her, so I just assumed she wanted to go home after dinner, but she's like, let's go get ice cream. And I could tell after a little while, like, she probably hadn't maybe been out in the town at all for a little while, having the little one, being a single mom, and after ice cream, like, let's go see the Christmas lights down at the Cavalier at the oceanfront, and let's go for a walk. Then let's go walk down the beach, and kind of kept going. Ended up being a beautiful night, and first of many beautiful nights. I guess after those first few months, it was a unique time. Our first date was in December of 2019, and COVID hit a few months later, and it was a unique time where, and I always say this as well, that we spent a lot of time just together. The house, we weren't able to go out as much or take as many trips. Things were closed for many months, and it was a lot of just me and her and Victoria, and so we just got to know each other so well, and got very comfortable so fast, and it just felt so natural. And then as the weeks turned into months turned into years, I knew that just didn't want it to stop. I wanted to keep going. They always say there's like life events or trauma or something that can bring people together, and it was kind of like a trauma for the world and in life. And so the people that you were close with at the time, or just developing relationships, you living through that for sure. And also you're developing as a relationship was different.
Well, he was very smart, very charismatic. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Like a big personality.
Say Russian.
Which
too.
I couldn't tell at work. I could tell after we went out for a drink, but at work he's like very reserved. I told him, you have like this face at work that like, don't talk to me, kind of thing. Yes. I mean, and now that I know him, he's very kind and very thoughtful. He gives such thoughtful gifts to people for like birthdays and babies and stuff like that. I usually am like, tell me what to buy you. But he actually knows, and it's usually very original and fitting that person and stuff like that. But yeah, very kind and really cares about his friends and family.
She is very calm and very gentle, but she still has that kind of, what's the right word, a kind of vigorous personality in her as well. She can still have that stretch of being more pushy, but for most part she is more calm and gentle, where I'm go all the time. And I think having that yin and yang, I needed to be with someone that was more calm and a little more gentle. But that's what I love too, though, is that is the core of her personality. But she can still have that outgoingness, partiness, funness. She's definitely she is an introvert, but she definitely she's no doormat, that's for sure. She's not stubborn, she is stubborn, sorry, but she's not someone that will just, give in just because she's quiet. She's, quietly strong, I guess is a way of putting it. And I just knew that was a personality trait that, would mesh well with me. And, I have kind of a wild social life and travel, and she has some too, but I knew that it would make sense to be with someone that could, keep me more grounded more often, and reel me in more often, and let's have quiet time and, just me time and us time. She's taught me that for sure.
Well, he is really good with kids, and he always tried to make her feel included, and kind of communicate on her level. I remember the first time we all hung out together, we went to Busch Gardens. She was 5 years old, she was so little, almost 6. I have a photo of 2 of them. I don't know, he just, like I said, he's really kind, and yeah.
And seeing her, be a mother to Victoria, and I'm so excited that I have Victoria, and she's such a sweet, beautiful kid, and seeing them two interact, and knew that that's, you know, two women that I want to grow up with and have a family with and grow our family. That was part of it as well. You know, it's, you know, Victoria was, you know, I've been in love with Victoria pretty much as long as I've been in love with Tatiana, and I'm excited, you know, to be her father and you know, show her things and teach her things, and she's taught me things. You know, it's been kind of a crash course of becoming a parent and co-parenting with Tatiana. It's an adventure. I've already learned some things along the way, and people always say, you know, it's not, there's no like 100% correct way. You know, there's a way of doing things, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. She has the strong qualities of her mom, but she also, and I like to think a lot of it is, you know, her being around me the last 5, going on 6 years. She has that yearningness to do things, and energy and creativity, and always wanting to play. You know, we goof off so much all the time, the two of us. And obviously her mom, you know, she can be fun as well, but me and her are definitely more of the silly geese, silly goose couple, playing games, being goofy, and yeah, exactly. And she's always looking for a new challenge and a new game to play, and I love that because I'm the same way. We really have meshed in that way.
Probably the ceremony. I don't know. I think so, because on one hand, the ones that I mean, obviously it's very long and all that, but it also has so much meaning, you know? The reception is kind of like wild and everyone's in it, but the ceremony is just us standing there.
I am fortunate enough to have a great group of friends and family, not just here, but abroad. Having my family come from Europe, having her mother and sister coming from Russia, my family from Greece and Cyprus and various parts of Europe, and even my friends that live all across the country. I'm very excited to have them all in one place and celebrate. You know, as we get older and families and kids and work, it's so much tougher to do something like that. So I'm so excited to have everyone, you know, 200 of our best friends in one room. You know, just having a great time and laughing, and you know, it's going to be a party month, you know, all of August, and I'm looking forward to every bit of that. Tatiana and Victoria, I can't tell you how excited I am to spend our lives together, the rest of our lives together, to keep growing as a family. You've made me so happy these last several years to become your husband, your father. It's the proudest moment of my life, and I'm looking forward to the rest of our lives, spending it together, growing as people, as partners, as daughter and father. And I could not be more excited. I'm so in love with you guys. You make me so happy. I appreciate you so much, everything you do for me. I know you'll always be there for me, and know that I'll always be there for both of you, through thick and thin, for happy and silly moments, through tough and sad ones. I'll be there always for you, and I love you so much.
Hey, honey, I love you. I'm so glad we're getting married. I'm so happy that I'm getting married to you. You're amazing. You're so kind and so smart and so thoughtful, and care so much about me and Victoria, and a great father figure for her. I couldn't be more grateful. And I'm really excited about all the years together ahead of us, and to build a family with you. So, you know, 20 years later, we're sitting around the table with our kids, maybe grandkids. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I love you so much. Mwah.